Hello and welcome to episode 1 of JackMullaly.com discussions. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Seriously, Jack? You've gone and created a podcast of sorts with your own name in the title. How arrogant. Yeah, look, you're probably right, but nonetheless, I'm super excited to be getting into this. I'd like to share with you, look, the reason why I've started this podcast. There's a few reasons, but I want to share the big one with you. So in my life, I've got an interest in quite a number of things. I have an interest in the sport of bike trials. I have an interest in my professional life, which is in water education and water engineering. I have an interest in health and nutrition, and an interest in strength and conditioning, amongst other things. It's no short list. And look, I really like to practice those things. I like to play around with them. I like to learn about them. But when I have the chance to talk to people about them in detail, great stuff happens. Just my knowledge, my ability, it goes through the roof. In recent times, I've become really fascinated with how things that work really well in one area of my life and one of those interests often transfers across really well into the others. For example, stuff that works really well in sport often applies really well in the professional realm as well. So I've created this podcast as a forum so that I can talk about my thoughts on these matters, share them with you. Hopefully you find them interesting and are inspired to contact me and have a chat about them. Because as I said, the great stuff happens in these areas when we talk and we share and we learn from each other. So, look, this podcast is going to take a number of forms. Some days it's going to be like today, where I'm wandering around my backyard, hanging out with the chickens, musing to myself about different ideas. But other days, we might have interviews or a whole bunch of different formats. To start out, the podcast is going to focus on the sport of bike trials. I'm starting where I'm most comfortable, starting in some safe territory, really. Let's be honest, I'm a little bit scared by this. We're going to be starting with the sport of bike trials, and I'm going to be looking into how I got into trials, why you might be interested in getting into the sport of trials, how it can help you mountain biking, why it's such a fascinating sport, and from there, we're then going to get into some more details. We're going to look at really some of the finer points of the sport, some training methods. We're going to have some great interviews with some world-class riders about why they ride trials and how they train. And from there, I'm just going to expand and go where I feel like with this. So look, that's probably about all for now with this intro discussion. Episodes 2 and 3 are already online, so jump across now and check those out. If you're liking what you're hearing, then either subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, but definitely leave a comment so we can start to have a bit of a discussion and get involved. Look, thanks for listening to the first JackMullaly.com discussion, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers. Bye. Yeah, hey everyone, quick little bonus edition for episode 1. This is what happens when you decide to film a podcast and don't close your back door. This little friend of mine, her name's Little Miss Curious, and I have a funny feeling you'll probably be seeing more of her on this podcast. But I'll introduce you to that later. Cool. See ya.